Namaste everybody, welcome, thank you for pressing play, thank you for liking and sharing our videos. It helps support the channel. Everyone out there needs a lot of support, so if you find it helpful, please do share. Well, what an amazing week. I don't know how it was for you, but it was for me. It had its ups and downs, as we've come to become accustomed to the fact that life is not a straight line, and you will have your mountaintop experiences and you will have your valley experiences. You will have your periods of abundance and you will have your periods of lean times. You will have your periods of joy and you will have your periods of sorrow. This is the circle of life. I had a chat with my friend. She's more than a friend. She's a sister from another mother. And she said to me this week, she went, it's slowly starting to dawn upon me that the woohoo isn't going to go away. And then this is the new normal. And all that's going to happen is we will adapt everything we know as life on earth around the woohoo, the thing that we can't see, but we can see the effects thereof. All that really matters when it comes down to it is, who are you? Because then, in any given situation, you can do the right thing. In one of the previous videos, I said when all is going well, it's really difficult to shine. Because there's lots of people shining. But when things aren't going well, there's one of two things you can do. You can succumb, or you can rise. That is your choice. Now, as you can see, the system that we live under, doesn't matter which country you live in the world, is very, very fragile. All it took was some tinkering with some bat DNA. And the whole world changed. Forever. So my question to you today is, where's your faith? A lot of people are afraid. They're afraid of getting the woohoo. But a lot of people are afraid of the other effects of the woohoo. The economic effects. The social effects. This is your opportunity to really dig deep and ask yourself, where's my faith? Number one. Two, how strong are my foundations? This is a full year. It is a year of foundations. We were asked to build our foundations from the spiritual perspective, from who you really are, not who you think you are, because everything you thought you were suddenly got taken away. Yes? You might have the most fantastical Bentley parked up in your drive. It's not going anywhere. It's stuck there. But someone down the road may be free as a bee on their bicycle. You see? All of those things that we believed made us who we are suddenly don't really matter that much. So, this is a whole new world. You have a choice. You can either cleave to hoping that the old system regains some sense of what you understand as normality, or what's normal for you, or what's comfortable for you. Or you can go, from this moment forward, every moment, every day is an adventure, and I am surrendering to the universe, to God. Because I would rather start from fresh and create a whole new life for myself outside of that very, very fragile thing we call our global system. That's me. The one way that you defeat this system is to become self-sufficient. Yes, starts with growing your own food. It's not hard. Growing your own food. That is such a powerful thing for you to do. And that's where you can start. The less reliant you are on this very, very fragile system, the more empowered you are as an individual. So, everything's available to us to create a whole new life for yourself, your version of heaven on earth. Yep, while all the hell is going on, yes. But you're in the world, you do not have to be part of it. I sit here every week and I have to play down my happiness, my joy. Me, myself and I. This is heaven on earth. I'm not talking about the poor people suffering the woohoo. That's horrible. But I get up every day and I look forward to my day. I have many things to do, constructive things. I am not selling my time or my energy, prostituting it for a system that really doesn't like people. Now, you can decide for yourself where you're at. But everything is designed, and when I say everything, I mean the planets, everything. Everything is designed to bring you to the knowledge of the understanding of who you really are. That you are a spiritual being having a human experience filled with the sorrows and the joys and the fun times and the mad times and the pandemics and the tsunamis and everything that goes and giving birth, all of the wonderful things, all of the tragic things. This is the human condition. We're here to experience emotions, life. We're here to experience taking something and growing it. As a parent, isn't it the most wonderful thing? I'll speak for myself. Not all parents are brilliant. I didn't want to have children. My children and I, we've discussed this at length. Why? Because I knew, deep down, I'd have to raise these children on my own. And I thought, do I really want that level of responsibility? I didn't. But when God says it's time for stuff to happen, it's time for stuff to happen. So 2 children I had very quickly after each other, as it goes, for someone who didn't want children. I knew I'd have to raise these children on my own, and I did. That's the sort of it. I did. And it was hard. I really did not enjoy being pregnant. It was horrible, personally. I felt like there was an alien inside of me. It was awful. I was ill. And I looked at these children when they were born and I thought to myself, this is a lifelong commitment right here. You know what I mean? This is a lifelong commitment. And then when they're small, you hope, when they could just get to that stage, when they can feed themselves and they can dress themselves, and yep, they get to that stage really quickly. And then there's a whole heap of other problems. Well, now they can walk around by themselves. They can be in here, they can be in there. And then they get a bit older and they decide what they want to wear, mostly inappropriate. And so it goes on. And then you think, they just get to that stage, which each stage where one part becomes easier, it becomes a whole lot more difficult in the other respect. And now they're grown up. They're adults. And I look at them and I go, whew, whew. Thank goodness that's done. One. But secondly, I look at them and I go, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you without having to psychologically manipulate you. I agree with you without indoctrinating you. I agree with you by just giving you fertile soil to become the you that you are. So, what are you going to be growing? What does your new life look like? What does your heaven on earth look like? Because now they're big. Okay, now, you know, there's other whole heap of problems like boy problems and this problems and well, it's not really my problem. Chloe, while we're having this conversation again. Just seeing them going through the human condition but not getting into the emotional washing machine is amusing. And that's what it's all about. It's a journey. I keep saying, stop focusing on the destination. Well, in 6 months' time, it's going to be like this. Or in 3 months' time, it's going to be like that. You know what? Who cares? The only thing that matters is now, today. Now, as everyone starts to have their 7-minute abs moment or their cognitive dissonance or their moment when they realize there is no going back to normal, they're going to start figuring that out soon in the next few weeks all over the world. Boom shakalak. The energy is going to drop collectively. So you need to already come to terms with the new normal and start figuring it out. What it is that's important to you, what you're going to focus your energy on, how you're going to move forward with the new normal, letting go of what you thought 2020 was going to be all about, and embracing the opportunities that are here for us now. Monday the 4th. Sun conjunct Mercury. An opportunity to illuminate the rational mind, or who you think you are, and to help understand that our true self is not defined by who we think we are. You are not who you think you are. You're something far deeper, far greater, far vaster. You are not your level of education, your skin color. You are an incarnated spiritual being. You just believe you're something small and insignificant. And as a woman, you're a creator. I think it was Rumi. No, I know it was Rumi. I'm just trying to collect the full quote correctly. Something along the lines of, woman is not a creation. She is a creator. You can give a woman anything and she can create it. You can give her some ingredients, she'll create a meal. You give her a shack, she'll turn it into a home. As women, for far too long, you've clung on to this idea of who you thought you are because, you know, maybe you saw mom and granny and whatever. You know, if you want change, you need to be the change. You make that change inside of yourself. As spiritual beings, we're all equal, neither male nor female. As spiritual beings, there is no divide, there is no duality. Now, in order for us to learn to transcend duality, duality has to be thrust in our face very, very starkly. 2020. It is an opportunity to recognize the truth that ultimately we know nothing. We know nothing. Even the smartest people in the world know nothing compared to what there is to know. Nothing. And when you accept that you know nothing in relation to what there is to know, it's so freeing. And it is just that precise thing that allows that divine information, that divine spark, that intuition, poof, to bring you a solution to your problem. Ultimately, we know nothing. And the true role of the mind is to be able to discern truth from illusion and to be servant. The mind is to be servant to the self, not the other way around. Be transformed by the renewing of the mind. This is what it's all about. If you transform the mind, you transform your life. People constantly saying, I'm fat, 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 I'm fat. You're fat. You know why? Because you decided you're fat. You tell everyone you're fat. You send it out into the universe. So, of course, everything is going to come towards you to keep you fat. I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. Whatever. Choose your word. So all you have to do essentially is change up the energy. All right, I might be fat, but I love myself enough to sort it out. You're broke, right? You're broken. Have a look around you. Always going to be someone worse off than you. Be grateful for what you have. It's a starting point. But none of this is relevant when you understand who you really are. You have to get control of your mind. Through this crisis, many people will lose control of their mind because their sense of self is nowhere. Where are you? Who are you? I'm no one without all my props and my costumes. Take away the props. You know, when you die, there's no props that go with you. Take the props away. Take the costumes away. Who are you? Know yourself. That's where your true power lies. And as woman, wow, time to know yourself, really. Not who society has decided you are. Monday the 4th as well. Venus square Neptune. A challenge, yeah. To transform our values and relationships through letting go of ego attachments and judgments that keep our love for one another's conditional. I love you as long as you make me feel good. I love you as long as you keep providing me such and such. Conditional love. It's an opportunity to let go of that and rather invite unconditional love. You have to let go of attachments to how you think it's going to be. Yes, married, 2.2 children, happily ever after, etc., etc. You know what? I got married when I was 19 years old. I didn't have to get married. I'm sure people thought I was pregnant. After 8 years of not getting pregnant, then they were like, there's something wrong with you. Just leave me alone. Okay. I got married. I had not long turned 18. You're a different person when you're sorry, I was 19. You're a different person when you're 19 than you are when you're 30. Do you understand? So you have to grow together. Yes, if two people aren't committed to that process of growing together, you know what? Chuck it in, chuck it in, chuck it in. You're wasting your time. Unconditional love. That's where we're going. But you also can't give what you don't have. So start giving it to yourself. A challenge to transform our values and relationships through letting go of ego attachments and judgments that keep our love for others conditional. and cultivate unconditional love, compassion, and empathy, while still practicing discernment to avoid being used by others. You see, this is the eternal struggle of spiritual people. You know, you're spiritual to the point where people walk all over you. That's not actually how it goes. Jesus said, be meek as a dove and cunning as a serpent. People are scared of snakes. Snakes really don't have to make a big fuss. One just slithers somewhere and people are running. Doesn't really have to. Snakes aren't in the habit of just attacking people. Snakes hear vibration. They taste on the air. They get out the way. So if you get bit by a snake, you got to really know. You kind of put yourself there, you know what I mean? You kind of put yourself there in the snake's territory where the snake had to defend itself. So defending yourself as a spiritual person is absolutely required, absolutely required. But there are ways to do it. Full moon in Scorpio, Thursday the 7th, 11:45 a.m. Okay, I love this bit. Now, 11, so anyway, 4 and 5 is 9. So that's 11:9, which is 9:11 backwards. I found that fascinating. Anyway, Scorpio full moon. Okay, now Scorpio, that's the deepest sign. What that means is Scorpionic people, they have the deepest emotions. All right, they can take it to the deepest place. That's why they love so deeply, is because they take it. They give it from that very deep place. Not only that, they are exceptionally psychic people. So they very easily can see how someone's mind works. They are the mind, they are the psychologists of the zodiac. Unevolved Scorpios are very dangerous because they can see how your mind works. They know exactly what buttons to push and how to trigger you very easily. And they probably get great joy out of it. Evolved Scorpios, again, know how someone's mind works, and they use that to help them be the best that they can be. There is an up and down to everything. So, being the Scorpio full moon, the conclusion of things that began in Scorpio season, especially for Scorpio people. Other water people, Cancerians and Pisceans, are going to feel it strongly as well. The full moon is going to be exceptionally emotional. It may have a tendency to bring out your deepest pain, your deepest fears to your conscious mind, only so that you can let it go and release it and don't take it with you through this brand new season. These are things that no longer serve you. You see, if you're still attached to all these past hurts and traumas, it means you're attached to them. It is your prison. It is your shackle. You forgive people not really for them. You forgive them for yourself. So you're not imprisoned or shackled to a person, a situation, a circumstance. It's all about you being free, isn't it? It's going to get emotional. An opportunity to reflect on how well we strike a balance between creating resources and sharing them, self-sufficiency, empowered partnerships. What are empowered partnerships? Okay, most partnerships are toxic, dysfunctional, codependent. I need you because you do this for me. Okay, empowered partnerships is when me, myself and I'm fabulous, loving life, got everything I need, self-sufficient, boom shakalak. Yes, someone else comes along and they the same. Okay, I don't need you, you don't need me. We just actually gel, we get on well, we got it going on. So those two energies create something else, you see, because the two people aren't siphoning off one another. Okay, they're complete, they're whole. We have an example, Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Yes, he didn't start too well, contrary to popular belief, but he got there eventually, got his ego under control eventually. And his risen spirit was magnificent, changed the world, still changing the world. Courage and strength to break tradition, to stand up to the lies of culture, religion. Powerful. She, independent, rebuked her father, rebuked her brothers. Free woman, in a time where women had less rights than cattle. They changed the world. This is empowered partnerships, yes? Not toxic codependence. All of those things are under the spotlight this year. Get it sorted, let it go, move on. Ladies, really. Self-sufficiency and empowered partnerships. It's about being connected to the body and connected to the deeper levels of our being, the deepest level of who you are. Who am I at the core of it? What makes me happy? What makes me unhappy? And having the courage to get rid. Just get rid. Just get rid of it. Get rid. It's about embracing our physical senses and embracing our psychic senses. So when it's a Scorpio full moon, there's going to be a lot of psychic energy. In other words, you are going to be sensitive to psychic energy. In other words, you are going to have dreams and visions and get synchronicities, loads of them. Pay attention. God, the universe, is trying to help you be the best you that you can be, which is a free, empowered, spiritual being having a human experience. And the human experience is beautiful, varied, pain, suffering, joy, ecstasy. It's a whole mixed bag. If you haven't experienced it all, you haven't lived. It's about knowing knowing when to hold and knowing when to fold. Knowing when to hold on and knowing when to let go. The Scorpio full moon is a reminder that we are more than just our physical bodies. And to truly know ourselves, we must explore the depths of our being. And you have to be connected to the body through meditation, through breathing, just simple breathing. I mean, meditation doesn't have to be complicated. In order to understand that spiritual nature, to see it, to acknowledge it. It's quiet, it's not the loud voice, look at me, look at me. It's the quiet voice. And it's a very powerful opportunity to let go of how you thought it would be. Let go of your attachments and your fears, because it's that what's causing you suffering. All suffering is caused by being attached to an outcome. Thursday, Mercury sextile Neptune, an opportunity to transform the rational mind through using mindfulness to let go of habitual thinking and bring the rational and intuitive sides of the mind together so that the mind works in a holistic way, body, mind and spirit. The word holistic means a all-round approach. Okay. It's an opportunity to balance all sides of yourself. It's very simple how to do that. Just be still. You just have to be still. So this week is very powerful to let go of a lot of things that don't serve you and bring you to the present moment and being comfortable in the present, because in the present is where you create your future. At the same time, we can learn to see through the lens of unconditional love and compassion so that our thoughts and words become gentle and kind. It's like learning how to tell someone to go and do one. And it takes them 10 minutes to realize you've actually told them to go and do one. Saturday the 9th. Mercury trine Pluto. Ooh, Pluto. An opportunity to transform and renew the rational mind through embracing potentially uncomfortable truths about ourselves rather than just clinging to the comforting lies. In order to let go of old thinking patterns that prevent us from seeing things clearly and stopping us living our own truth. Are you a pawn or are you the star player in your own life? This week coming is a reality check. It's also a check yourself before you wreck yourself. Who are you really? Yes. What is important to you? Are you moving from consuming the caterpillar with the consume? Have you embraced the cocoon stage? Because soon, no, not soon is relative. When the time is right, movement will start to happen. So this is a very small window of opportunity for you to figure out if your life is in the system or if you're a free person and you're going to build a life outside of the system. Think about any place where people have gone to conquer and colonize. Think about when people from Europe went to the Americas to find this new land and make a life there, to be free from what they perceived as tyranny where they lived at the time. They're going to go to this new place, find a piece of land and make a life for themselves. Do you know how hard those people must have been to be able to forge a life in the wilderness, fighting the native bush animals they'd never encountered? That level of passion to be free from tyranny. Now, you don't have to cross over the seas and go and fight native bush. This time, it's very orderly, very peaceable, but you have to decide. Because there's a small window of opportunity, and if you don't decide, you will just get sucked into that system again. You can do it. Okay. The song I Want to Break Free keeps coming into my head. Sorry, I know that would have made a noise, but... Is that it? We have 4? Okay. All right, so the first one we have is the dragon, which is power and strength. Everything that you need to create this amazing life that you've been offered outside of the confines of who you think you are, this inspired, free, non-prostituting yourself life is inside of you. Okay. The strength that we need is being given to us. Okay. I can appreciate for those people whose faith was 100% in the system, they can be very afraid, but that's not you guys who's watching this. So I'm addressing you. That power and strength is there. The Spirit of Christ, the energy, it's an actual energy. This is why when you see these people and they're casting out demons, they will always cast out the demons in the name of Jesus Christ, because that, besides the value of the words, it's an energy, it's a frequency, it's very powerful, because basically the devil, the system, the liar, tried to play God, as in it thinks it's God, but play God, like it thought it's going to puppeteer, yes, and that's what happened with the crucifixion. You see, the devil thought he was going to play God, but the devil got played. Because unconditional love, the man went and did it anyway. Thought, you know what, I'm doing it anyway. I know the truth. See you on the other side. Yeah? The devil got played. Okay, so that's why when you encounter these people who believe a lie, and we call them possessed, that's why when you throw that out to them in the name of Jesus Christ, they freak out. Because it is a very powerful energy. So if you're calling upon the energy of Jesus Christ, it is a very powerful energy. It gives you that feeling of being empowered. Okay. It's all about energy. Because let's go back to the beginning. God is not a dude sat somewhere on a cloud in a castle. The consciousness, it is everything. It is you, it is me. Consciousness. Yes? Next week we're going to talk about something very exciting. Change of the node, which is a collective lesson for everybody. Very exciting. So the short of it is, over the next few months, we're all going to figure out how your mind works. Okay, so heads up. Because if you don't take that active participatory role in figuring out how your mind works, well, everything will conspire to help you see that. It's marvelous. So, if you're struggling, that power and strength that you need is available, but you have to ask. You see, you have free will. When we did our prayer, I asked our Father to send the angels. We have to ask. We have free will. For God to intervene in your life, you have to ask. Whatever you need right now, that power and that strength is afforded to you, because we're all going through a collective rebirth. A birth and rebirth. What are you birthing? What seeds are germinating in your Garden of Eden, metaphorically speaking? You see, whilst we were in the Garden of Eden, it was okay. We had everything we needed. We had food, we had water, it was beautiful. We could learn. There was a tree of knowledge. We could learn things. But instead, we chose to partake of duality. Unfortunately, darlings, you did not make that decision. That decision was made for you, okay? But now you're all grown up. You have to take responsibility for participating in the duality or not. So, Garden of Eden is lovely. Everything you need is provided. Yes, you participate in the duality, whoop, out of the Garden of Eden, it's a hellish struggle. Yes, it's a hellish struggle. Okay, so what are you planting? Are you in the Garden of Eden, or are you trying to plant something in a system designed to destroy you? The next one we have is burden. This is always says, don't carry other people's burdens. Yes, very important. Now, as healers and empaths and whatever you like to call yourselves, people who are compassionate towards other spiritual people, we do tend to carry other people's burdens. But now, mostly, if you're still doing this, this is an ego problem, because look at me, I can fix you. No, no one can fix anyone else anymore. Those days are done. This is the new normal, guys, okay? So don't carry other people's burdens. Now, as we go forward, the consciousness level energy is going to drop over the next few weeks, because people are coming to terms with the fact that there's no going to be some magic day where we whoop through a portal and everything's back to normal. There's no getting back to that level of normal. It's just you're going to create your normal. That's all that's happening. You're going to create your normal. Now, you can't create your normal if you're carrying other people's problems. Now, mainly, this is to do with vampiring your energy. So, you may have to detach from certain people, especially online. These people popping up from the past, a blast from the past, to reconnect. because they found some sense of stability with you, or you make them feel good. Whenever they talk to you, they feel like it's going to be okay. You see, you can't be a crutch for other people. Everyone has to become self-sufficient, and it starts with becoming self-sufficient in your mind. Otherwise, there's a potential for people to absolutely lose it. Then we have the owl, which is deception. Now, are you deceiving yourself? Are you happy with them lies you keep telling yourself? Oh, you know. Or do you have the courage to face yourself, your true self, and go, you know what? Got to make a change. Tired of being a doormat. I've had a dream my whole life and put everyone else's burdens ahead of myself. Are you deceiving yourself? Or are you still allowing others to deceive you? You see, that deception is going to become glaringly obvious over the next while. It's all very exciting. Because if you have the truth of everything, you know how to fix it. Don't you? If you know the truth of how someone is, or how someone feels towards you, towards the situation, towards a job, towards life, then you know how to deal with these people. The truth is what will set you free. Right, we're going to have this one. Any more? I'm happy to finish there. I'm happy. Definitely finish there. Love. Yep. And risk. Risk is about just making decisions and having all the information. But we'll start with killing this. Love, that's all that's really important. Unconditional love. Unconditional love is only achievable if you have no attachment. Because as you attach to things, you're going to get hurt. You're going to feel suffering. Okay, so it starts with loving yourself. And then once you're overflowing with self-love, well, of course, you can give it to others without that attachment. Okay. Doesn't end there. Because we're living in a world of universal deceit, you cannot continue to give this love to the undeserving. You have to only share it amongst those who radiate with that same energy. Empowered partnerships. So, as part of building your new world, you have to understand there is no place for deception. There is no place for self-deception. Because if you're deceiving yourself, you're deceiving others by default. And you will invite those into your space who are deceivers. So, love yourself enough to get rid of the deceivers and to stop deceiving yourself, to see clearly the truth of the situation. And the last card, risk. Risk always tells me that there are decisions to make. I don't know if you can see this, but at the bottom there's 3 arrows. So it's kind of indicating possible opportunities. Yes, there are avenues, doors opening for you, let's say. Okay? Now, you can keep on the same path you've been going, or you could take a left, or you could take a right. There's 3. Yes? Which one do you take? So if opportunities are opening for you, do you just stay with the old and because it's comforting and you know how it goes? Boring, dull, soul-destroying, but pays the bills. Or are you going to take an adventure and start something new? Up to you. It's a fantastic new world now. Father, continue to bless us. Continue to teach us the truth, no matter the cost. Show us the truth, no matter the cost. Namaste, everybody. Peace be with you.